All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. This is a way that we can kind of get a little bit more familiar with Discord. I know some of us that are on here are considered like moderators. So there will be another call scheduled for moderators because there's a little bit more access. And the access is around your responsibility for whatever channel you're working. But the basis of today's presentation will just for you to get familiar with chatting and knowing where your alerts are, or knowing exactly what's going on within Discord and how to stay connected with everyone. So I'm going to start off by first sharing the itinerary for this evening, which is, we'll put it back on the screen. Here we go. I wish I had some music. Here we go. All right, so first things first, we're gonna get to know our role. It's cute, right? Know your role, right? And within Discord, I'll show you exactly where you can pick out your role just as a user. We had to do this call on Zoom because some of us are in multiple Discords. And with that being said, this will help you navigate what's happening in those Discords, the different channels, things of that nature. When you are engaging in these channels, things to make sure, I'll give you some tips and tricks to make sure you are considered active in these Discords, because there are some things that are happening on the back end that will cause Discord to just throw you in a group of inactive users. And then after that, the administrator or admins or moderators can say, oh, they're not active. They need to be removed from the Discord, because this is a way to maintain security for each Discord, because of course, as you know, we have people that like to spam and scam, sorry. We also have notifications. We're going to be going through that, how to control your notifications. Some of us are, again, in multiple channels, multiple Discord servers. So that means you're going to be hearing that sound that you have a new message, you've been tagged to something, things of that nature. I will walk through how to control that. And then for those of you that are admin and moderators, as questions are entering into the chat, if you can help me answer those. If not, where we start to discuss the admin and moderators, that's where we'll open up for questions for something that's unique to yourself that you've been experiencing. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am first going to display my screen coming from the view of your mobile device, your cell phone. The reason I want to come from that, because most of us are using Discord on our phones, and then I will switch screens and then navigate Discord on a computer. So starting with the phone, let me share my screen. And if possible, if you do see my screen, please put a nice little star in the chat. You can see my screen. All right, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best to get that out of the way. There we go. So currently right now, I am logged in as a user that is not considered an admin, just a regular user within Discord. I'm using the intuitive lounge, but again, everything that you'll see me do here, this is something that you'll be able to do regardless of the server, depending on how it's configured, but the steps will remain the same. This person is a brand new user into the intuitive lounge, where they had to come in and answer some questions. So all of us received the link. We are beyond that point at this time. If you are someone that's on this call and don't have access to the server, then of course we'll take care of your questions at the end. But here I answered the questions, and I am currently in the server. Now, some of you received an invite into the server prior to some of these questions being configured there for entry. So how do you answer those questions? You would go into the server in question, which is on the side. What you see me click on here is the logo for Intuitive Lounge, right? So it takes me to the screen here. Whatever server you're in, you're going to want to click on that. So that is what's going to appear here on the side, on top of the plus side. Your servers will be listed there. And to confirm what server you're in, it will be listed at the top. Once it is listed, you would go, stay within that server, scroll up, and you want to click on channels and roles. Okay. When you go to channels and roles, here, I did not customize it yet, right? So notice it told me that there are no customizations options yet. So I want to browse the channels, right? It's showing me what channels I want to be a part of. Typically, if you do not have any of these channels or conversations or topics checked, you will not see them in your list. Now, don't get me wrong. I've received a couple of messages like, hey, I can't see it. It's listed, but I can't see it. Those are typically access related, but using the server as is, you should be able to go into channels and roles and select what you want to stay in and follow the conversation. By default, when you are signing into the server and you've selected your roles, I'll go through that in a moment. When you are selecting these roles come with certain topics already tied to it. And as you can see, it will have certain categories already checked. I didn't do anything with this user account only because I wanted to reserve it for this call. So by default, in the Intuitive Lounge, a person will come in, they can introduce themselves, they can see these different conversations that take place, they can join here at the bottom, the Quantum Insight, they can scroll up and down, they can add a little bit more if they want to follow the categories. Now, if you find that you are following so many categories, you can always go back and uncheck them. I don't want to be notified. I don't want a notification. At best, what will happen is it will turn black or it will turn a certain bright, bold color, letting you know there are new messages, and it'll have a number next to it saying, hey, there's something new going on in here. Once this is done, you can always go back and it kind of auto saves into your settings. Okay, now with this user account, it is brand new. So most cases, if you're not really using Discord like that, you'll probably have a guide within the server, which you'll see right under here called Get Started, right? This is going to walk you through the server and what you would need to do. So for me, I'm going to go through and it has a list of things that needs to be done in order to be truly active into the community. There are certain rules that I have put in place that says this person can't come in. It's based off of the admin's discretion to determine certain things that are there. It's mostly to prevent spammers and scammers from coming into the Discord. You know how easy it is to create an email, how easy it is to just go in there and pretend you're someone else. So there are questions in place and security options they can put that says, okay, well, this person may need TFA, two-factor authentication, which means you need two forms, ways to log into your server. That is your personal account that may be required on your personal account in order to log into someone's server. So for Intuitive Lounge, that has been removed. That is not currently on the unlocking server, but just in case you're joining someone else's, that may be in place where it's like, I don't have access. They may require the extra level of security. So it's all about checking your settings. Before I go into this, how do you check your settings? Here at the bottom where it says you, that's my profile on the phone. I would go in there. Who you see here, this is what I call my son. So this is his profile. He can come in here. Some of us have age restrictions. So If you're under a certain age, automatically disqualified. That's something that is set up on your own. Please be aware that yes, you may have a profile, but Discord is always going to encourage people to create their own, right? They want their own server, their own community. So that is not required. It does not require you to have one in order to join someone else's. That is just something if you want to do on your own. But for the most part, you can come in here, you can edit your profile, you can put in your pronouns, a little bit about me. You can do certain things within the server, like change your profile color, things of that nature. Why would you want to do this? I'm bringing this up because a lot of us don't realize within Discord, it also allows you to purchase things, right? If you want to fancy up your profile, you want to be able to go in here and you'll be able to purchase certain things to make your profile stand out. On top of making your profile stand out, right? Maybe the server you're on has a shop or they have subscriptions, just like TikTok, where you can get certain levels and certain things added to your profile. Again, how do you get to that? It's through your profile and you click at the shop at the top, right? And then if you're inside the server, if they have a shop, you'll be able to go on there. There are a lot of gamers that uses Discord. Originally, this was for gamers, right? So with gamers, they want to connect things like their games, things of that nature. And with that being said, they want to stand out. So Discord have a nitro feature that will help update the profile within your account, okay? The only reason I'm bringing that up, because now you can also help your server. Our servers or the ones that you're joining, because they're under a certain count, you can boost the server, right? I don't know if you guys see that a lot. It's boosting the server, meaning it's kind of similar to, it's not a subscription, but it's more so like saying you want it to stand out even more. The more people who boost it, it becomes a certain level, and then that server becomes a little bit well known, and they unlock certain perks within that server. So look out for things like that. I know with the Intuitive Lounge and the unlocking, you may see things like, hey, Ermi is selling her shirt, right? Her shirt is for sale, but she says, everybody on Discord, you get it for this price because you're on the Discord, right? So that will be available when you're looking at the Discord shops. All right. So now, again, back to channels and roles. This is things that I want to talk about. I want to have these channels. I want to be involved. When you go up here at the top, Intuitive Lounge, right? There are certain things in here that you can come in and you can see about the server. You can say show all channels. You can also say hide muted channels. So if the admin or the moderator wants to mute an entire channel, meaning that channel is no longer active, you don't want to see it still on your list, right? So you can indicate, I want to hide those channels. For now, I have this user listed as no, show me everything. You can also indicate whether or not you want to receive direct messages, meaning someone on that server who shares it with you. So like Shara and I were on the same server, right? Shara can send me a message. But if I don't share a server with Shara, we cannot direct message each other, AKA be in each other's DMs, right? You can control whether or not you want to allow somebody to send you a message. And what will happen is it will be in a filter option and it will say, oh, do you want to receive a message from this person? Do you want to accept it? Some of you may have seen it already. Now, of course, if you decide that you no longer want to be on Discord or you don't want to be in the server, within that settings option, you are also able to leave the server. Okay, there is a report the server option, but of course within Discord, they're a little bit more strict because there's kids in the community using the app, things of that nature. They take it more serious. So please understand, when you report a Discord server, after a certain number of reportings, they will take down the server and they will investigate. If they find that you reported it falsely, then what they do is they'll ban your account and indicate that you're not allowed to come back to Discord in general because you're falsifying information. So far, do we have any questions concerning what I went over? You can put, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself, or you can just put it in the chat. All right. So now let me see here if it will let me do it. Introduce myself, send a message. Let me see if it'll let me do it. All right, so there we go. Now, what I did was here, that get started option, this is a guide where the server will tell me how I can be involved, engaged, and considered an active participant. So I will click get started. And in here, it tells me at the bottom on that gray line that I needed to make a comment. Once I make a comment, it says, oh, go to the next part now. Now let's meet Tiffany. You meet Tiffany. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. There's so much about her. Oh my gosh, I just love her. Oh yeah, da 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 da. I want to give her a heart. That's amazing. And then it will take you to the next part. It'll say, let's share a dream or something. This is how I configured my server. It's different steps within the unlocking. But if you have that, if you have this get started listed on your server homepage, that means you haven't really completely configured everything or gone through the steps that's required. Even if the admin was to add it after the fact, it will see that you have not completed those tasks, and it will just continue to appear until you make it go away. When you're done, anytime you go back to it, it will check mark whatever task that you have completed, right? If I come here, I want to finish it off. What is my favorite quote? I'm going to say, love me, right? Now that I have completed the task, you've seen how it loaded and it was like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is great. Notice that it is now gone. I've done all the steps to be able to complete going through this server. You notice where it says active now. The active now is your status on the server. It's letting you know that you're currently online. Just like any chat system, you can switch it to say, don't tell nobody I'm online. You can hide yourself, right? But this is letting people know that you're active. When you are active, let's say you are going into this conversation, the chat, notice how it will tell you who's online right now, right? And it will separate them depending on the server setup, just letting them know, hey, these people are online. And like TJ Demand, he's a fire sign. Just like it looked like my Kia. My Kia is a fire sign. She's all configured, ready to go, right? So now within this chat, since I have that, I can see what's going on in this conversation. Within my server, the Intuitive Lounge, what is required is that if you are online and if you don't have any of these said roles configured, meaning you don't have anything assigned to yourself. Hold on one second. You should be able to see now that I've done all that. I believe I'm missing something. Oh yeah, I gotta, my apologies. I would have to make sure that I approve his email because he's a kid, so he can't just do everything. So within here, you will be able to go through the server guide again, of course. When you go to the server guide, it will tell you everything that is within the Intuitive Lounge that should be brought to your attention. So if you ever want to know what's going on, there's a certain space where they would have, this is your welcome, this is where you would meet Tiffany. On another server, it could be announcements. They probably want you to see the announcements first, things of that nature. They may also want you to see the rules first. It's imperative that you see the rules within a server. Why? Because within the rules, it will tell you what will occur if any of these rules are broken? Most cases, what would happen is they already have like a robot AI. It's looking at these rules. You're going to go in, you're going to punch in something, and it may automatically take you out the server, right? It's more so to protect you, not tell you what to do, for those of you that may feel that way. But within the intuitive insight, we have the rules, and within the unlocking, you have rules as well. These are your channels right here on the side, all of your channels, right? Some of them, just to break it down, they are categories. For example, information is a category. Within there, you will find announcements and the rules. For me, I have Let's Chill. This is where most of the chit chat would happen, right? You can go into what I have as TikTok and YouTube. You can post links, which for those of you that need help with that, I will get to it in a second. But all of this access opens up because you've answered a few questions in the beginning. Unfortunately, we missed that part. So let me do this. I am going to send my son a link into the unlocking so we can see that. While I am doing that, do we have any questions about what I am saying, or did I go too fast? That means I'm doing good. Let me check the chat because I don't see anything. No, no questions. All right. Okay. I don't see any questions. If you don't see a server, how do you get connected? Okay. So if you don't see a server, typically, most admins should have a link. So like, for example, the server I don't have on here is the unlocking. In order for me to get there, right, because the unlocking is not at 1,000 yet, because it's not at 1,000 yet, it's not something where you can click the plus sign and search for it. You can't go looking for it because Discord requires that each server has 1,000+ active users in order to be found in the general public. Until then, these servers are considered private, and they are, you will need to click on a link. So in this case, I'm sharing through the phone. I am going to go to the messages that I sent, and I am going to click on the link that I sent in order to join the server. Now, when you join the server, this is how it should look in the beginning. It's going to say, do you want to accept the invite? Of course, right? I want to be part of the unlocking. And when I become part of the unlocking, did you notice that it had like a little welcome screen? Because now the server is going to walk me through how to be considered part of the server, right? So within the unlocking, how do you find out about the Discord server? I found out through a friend, right? Go to the next question. Do you understand this is a spiritual community? Hell yeah. So I click yes. What do you want to do in the Discord server? Well, when I see a question like this, right, on the server, this simply means that I am going to be choosing my roles. This is one of the ways that it was configured for me to choose my roles. Why are roles important? Because it will help identify, the admin will be able to identify, say, this group only wants to talk about conspiracies. This group only want to talk about the Bible. This group only wants to talk about food. So based on how this is configured, there's a spiritual community. I also want to grow my intuition. I'm highly interested in manifestation. As you can see, I'm selecting more than one. That means, yes, you could be a part of more than one role. The roles are categories. That's all it is for the admin, to see where do you fall and make sure you are receiving updates and notifications and conversations about the things you have selected. Of course, I want to do all of this, but I'm going to stick for this example, just these three. When I click next, what else do you want to be notified for, right? So I want to be notified for crystals. This will also let them know, add me to some conversations that's talking about crystals. When I get here, I have to agree to the rules of being on this Discord server. Why is it important? Because believe it or not, admins and moderators do get questions. Why am I kicked out of the server? Well, it all started with the agreement and the server rules, because they're trying to maintain a status. So do you, right? So now once you agree, look what it said. Whoop, whoop, I am in the unlocking server. Just like you seen in the intuitive lounge that was already there, you've seen the steps that was taken for a brand new user, okay? When you are already existing, it's a matter of, do you see that guide or those steps pending for you to be able to sign up for those different roles? If you do not have a role, meaning you came into the server, you didn't answer any questions, you didn't, do any of these guided steps or anything like that, the Discord will not assign you a role. And then when it's time to purge, like for example, the unlocking did a purge this past Sunday. All of those who did not have a role, all of those who were not active within the community, I believe within the last 60 days, they were kicked out, and they probably won't see the server until they come back and request to log in, going through the link on Ermi's bio or myself, and then they will be able to come back in and rejoin. The only time you are unable to rejoin a server is if you're banned. If they banned you, then you will not be able to get in. But getting kicked out because you're not active, it just simply means you just need to go on the link and rejoin the server, answer the questions, and consider yourself active. So here on the unlocking, here it is. It wants me to do a few things. Hey, go introduce yourself. As you can see, it's not checked off. Hi. Everything that you see me doing here, please keep in mind, I am an admin, so I will be going back and deleting. Meet the Discord mods. Oh my God, look at these beautiful people. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Look at that one right here. Is that the sister? Yep, that's her. All right, so you can go in, you can meet the mods, you can interact. Why is this important? Why are we paying attention to mods? Because when you are dealing with moderators, some things you don't have to go straight to the admin for, right? You don't have to go to the admin and say, where's this chat? You can speak to these moderators and they'll be able to guide you into the section that they are currently in. They have pictures, they introduce themselves. Oh, that looks fun. All right now. So now that I have gone through that, and said, okay, Tiffany, I see what you did there. When you click on the arrow, it doesn't let you see that I'm clicking on it. But when you click on the arrow going back, it shows you the pages. The only reason I have these channels, again, appearing because of the questions that I've answered. And it already made all of these conversations visible to me. Now, because they are visible to me, right? Do not assume all conversations are on the list. Again, I would have to come in here. I would need to go to channels and roles and look at that. They added a new question, so let me go and answer. My son is an Aries. Shout out to all the Aries. Okay, so now we have that. I go in, it says my friend, and all of this is here. You want to make sure that all questions are answered because it's going to give you the roles that you need to be in, okay? When you come to all channels, now, there have been questions. Tiffany, I can't find this channel. Tiffany, I can't find this channel. If you go to channels and all channels, as long as you have permissions, Considering everything is configured the right way, you will be able to go in and check off all the categories. Now, one of the things that have happened, please be mindful, notice what's not checked. You will need to go in yourself if you are highly interested in mediumship, right? I'm going to go down there. I'm going to go to mediumship. Oh, did I skip past it? Lord. All right. Notice I'm looking for mediumship and can't find it. There's a search bar. I click and I say medium, right? Now there's the mediumship meditation suite. Hold on, where is it? I'm scrolling. There we go. Mediumship, right? The reason I want you to see this, it is very much so possible that new conversations are added to the category. So what this means is, instead of just doing the one or two discussions, instead follow the category. So that way, anytime a new discussion is added, you are automatically involved in that conversation. If not, if you do not manually do this yourself, right, you will only receive messages about the categories or the conversations that are selected. Okay? So again, if you are a medium, and let's say you are currently in class and you want to be in tune about everything that's happening in mediumship, do not select the conversation, select the category so you can stay up to date about everything in that category. That can be classes, that can be just the live, that's not the section, the live mediumship, as you can see here. If you want to be a sitter, you can go in and sign up for that. So again, make sure whatever conversation you want to be a part of, think of it as, I want to be involved in everything related to this. So check off follow category. So what I did was, again, I clicked on all channels, and therefore I can see all channels listed in that server, whether I'm following it or not. Even as a moderator, even as an admin, as when you go in here, it is very much so possible you uncheck and you say you get nothing. Plenty of times I get a call from Ermi. She said, go into this channel. I say, girl, I can't see that. And she says, Tiffany, go check off the category. And I go in, I check off the category. I get notified about everything in there. Let me tell you why you want to check off what's in there. In this Discord alone, there is 91 channels in discussion. They are all active. You do not want your phone and notifications blowing up about every message and every discussion in every category going off. Go choose the discussions you want to be a part of. Now, once you do that, what I did was I clicked on the back button here, taking me back to the list of channels that are listed. Okay. Now that you have that going, I want to go into a channel, right? And I'm going to choose her, let me see, mediumship sitter. When I come into mediumship sitter, you are able to come in here and click on the search and look for certain things that's going on. You could look for a member. You could look for certain files. That's my favorite one right there. Don't want that one. That's my favorite. You can look for certain files if it's uploaded. You can filter what you're looking for. Okay. The filter options, like the most popular one, I want to see everything after a certain date. Things like that. When you are done, you can always get out of here by just sliding down. Okay. Now, this is a mediumship sitter. Of course, you are familiar with adding a message in the chat. If you want to add an attachment, you click the plus sign, right? Of course, you have to give Discord, not just that channel, Discord as a whole, and give them access. I say just give them full access to your photos so you can pick and choose. All right. I'm glad this is my son's phone, because if it was my other photos, we'll have a different conversation. There are other things you can do here on the Discord. There are certain places where if you want to list your birthday, so that way the Discord can automatically tell everybody, hey, it's her birthday, let's give her a shout out. There are things in place here that the moderators and admin has allowed to happen in Discord that can happen within the chat. But just to show how to add an attachment, I would say hi and put a picture of my family. Let me find something else. I like this one. This is my favorite. And when I do that, voila, I just posted a picture and also a text. You are also able to hold down the message you just posted, and you can go in and you can choose to delete the message. You can edit the message right where it is. It is pretty difficult when you're trying to work with a picture and the text. So typically, I normally just recommend delete the message and start all over. Okay, you can do that in individual chats. My favorite now, we're going to get to the part where we have movie night, we have media, right, in the unlocking server. When that is happening, typically there's an announcement, hey guys, we're going to watch a movie. All you would have to do is click on the channel in question. So when you're told to go to a channel, you will search for it. You will either go to it or search for it, right? So in this case, I'm going to it, click on the movie time, and then you have to click the green button that says join. However, let's say you don't want to join it. You just want to see the conversation. Click on the chat box here, and you can join the conversation in that server without being in that channel. You don't have to be in it. You're just in and say, hey guys, I'm in the chat. I'm not watching the movie. That's kind of boring, but please, the movie time is amazing. Within the unlocking server, guess what else we have? Music. If you join it, you will hear music playing. I think it's only activated when somebody comes in there though. I'm not quite sure. But there is a music channel that plays music. Now, when you are leaving a channel, it's imperative that you click the red button. Today, I learned the hard way that I joined a channel that I was trying to get prepared, and then I stayed on that channel the entire time. I had to be told in my DMs, girl, you still in there running your mouth. I had to make sure that I close out. Now, I'm going to go back in here to show you something. I'm going to go inside the movie time. I'm inside the channel. It is very much so possible you click away, and I'm still in the chat. I'm still in that channel, okay? I can maneuver it around the screen, but I'm still in there. And as you can see, anything that's going on in there, I will still be able to go through and still skim other channels, still be a part of other channels. And I can go in and join the conversation wherever I would like, while still actively participating in the channel. But I'm gonna go in here. What did I click on? I don't slid too fast, y'all. Hold on. Woo. And guess what just happened? Froze. Did it freeze? Hold on. Da-da-da. Guess what's frozen? My screen frozen. Un momento. Let me steal the show. While I get this situated, did I go too fast? Is there anything? Is there anything you guys would like to ask me before, because I don't know what's going on with this, it froze. And whoever watches this recording in the future, they're gonna be laughing at me. Any questions? I'm gonna look in the chat. You're doing great. Oh, thank you, Glenda. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, so since that phone is acting up, I don't know. That was pretty much the end of it anyway, from a phone perspective. So that's okay. All right, so now let me share a screen for Discord on a computer. There's not much that is different, right? But of course, you get a larger view, right? Here on the server, I'm inside the Intuitive Lounge. Of course, you're seeing it from a perspective of an admin view. But from here, same thing, going through the channels, making sure everything is answered. Even as an admin, I still had to answer the question so that way it can put me in a category. I'm considered the server owner, but my profile and my server are linked, but it's necessary. You'll see the channels that are available. So when you go to look at your role, you should see those questions answered in order to be able to see everything that applies to the channels in question. And when you go to browse channels, you should be able to uncheck the categories you don't want to receive notifications about. Now, the reason we're here too, I also want to point out, let's say you don't want your phone going off, all these alerts and oh my goodness, there's so much. This can become very overwhelming very quickly, especially if you're an active participant in a couple of servers. I hid some of mine. And how I did that was you, on a computer, you take the server, you click down and slide it on top of each other. And then it goes into like a little bucket here. The main servers that I am a part of is the Intuitive Lounge, the Unlocking, and of course, Nine's House. When I am in those, I get my little red notification that I have messages that I need to view, okay? When you hover over the number, it tells you where those messages or what server resides in there. On the right-hand side, there is also an inbox. This inbox is only going to talk about where there are messages to you, right? And it's all servers, by the way. Messages to you or when you were included. Tiffany, I've been included in a few things and it did not say my name. As long as you are in the at, meaning if they say at everyone, at intuitive, at all, at fire, if they put you in a group and they at your group, you will be notified under the notifications, okay? Last but not least, because I want to make sure I leave room for questions, when you go in, there is a section for notification settings, right? You go to the server, or you can go to your profile and you are looking for notification settings. Within there, you can tell Discord how to notify you. Do you want to mute a certain server, right? It tells you here, muting a server prevents unread indicators and notifications from appearing unless you are mentioned, right? Which means specifically tagging you, right? But for me, I want to be notified on all messages here. I can suppress certain things in this server, like I don't want everybody tagging everybody, right? I left that for my moderators, and so did the unlocking. Moderators can tag everyone, but imagine over 1,000 people tagging at everyone to get a message. It becomes like a nuisance. So that's why we're limiting it to admins and moderators. You can decide what you want to be notified, and then you can also indicate whether or not you're getting like a what is it called? Like a beep noise, right? So for me, I get like a beep noise because I'm in meetings and it just reminds me, hey, go on Discord when you're done, so that way you can see what's going on in both servers, because I am an admin in both servers, so I need to stay in the loop. So my attention span is like insane. All right. So as of right now, I do believe I covered everything without even coming right back to it. Let me see something here. All right, it is now officially open for any questions, or if you want me to review something again, let me know. But I've covered how to go through Discord via your phone and also on a computer. All right, let me stop the recording.